All right. Testing 1, 2, 3. If you can hear me clearly, type Y in the chat box. For some reason, the conference call line, I'm calling into it right now, and all it's doing is ringing, and it's never done this before. So if there's anybody that's trying to call on the conference call line and they can't get through, neither can I. So I'm going to try it one more time, but if then I'm going to stop if I still can't get through. But if any time somebody says that they're on the conference call line and nobody's on, somebody type it in the chat box, and I will go ahead and try to call back into it. So those people that can't be in front of their computer. And it's still ringing. It's not picking up. And sometimes that happens, whether it's bad weather or overload of the lines. But it is what it is. Well, welcome everybody. This is our Saturday evening live mindset training, but this is a different mindset training that I've normally done. In fact, what I'm doing tonight I have never done before. I stopped the video, Stacy, so you should be able to hear it. Those of you who came on late after the video was playing, it was playing for you. So I have never done this training tonight, so if you guys are here for the first time, you're in for a treat. If you've seen my mindset trainings before, you're in for a treat, because this is something that's brand new, and I am recording this for those that cannot be on. But congratulations on showing up, and the reason why I say that is that this type of training I was taught very, very early on in my career, and I was told that this information is the fuel that you need not only in your network marketing business, but really in anything that you do. And the people who really take the time to learn this type of information for themselves in the field that's called personal development and self-improvement always have a market of success that's a little bit better, if not greatly better, than those who do not. Their income is at least, they will say, 15 to 20% more on average than everybody else. Because this is information that keeps you in the game. It keeps you doing things that you don't feel like doing. And I hear a lot of people all the time that tell me, Brandon, I want to be successful. I'm like, great, you got to get your mind right. And they don't want to take the time to do it. They just say, just tell me the tricks. Tell me what I need to do. Tell me all the skills. Now, this type of training is different than, a how-to. I'm not going to go over how to build your business. Online marketing, offline marketing, all of that stuff. Yes, that stuff is important. But what I'm going to go over tonight is what's going to keep you in the game when things aren't going your way. And life is life. Life happens to us all. We can't escape it. There's no cheating it. We have the same 24 hours in a day. We go through the same cycles of the seasons, 365 days in a year. Yet some people have wild success, while others do not. And the ones who do not always have an excuse to blame something, as if those who are successful didn't have the same type of problems and struggles. They all went through the same things. The difference is how you respond, how you handle life situations that come to you. That makes all the difference. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter how many times you fall down. What matters is how many times you get up. How many times you keep moving forward. Successful people have failed more than everybody else. They're successful because all they care about are the times that they have actually won. And I think it's time for you guys to have a win. I want to put this in perspective for you. Those of you who are sports fans. If you are a basketball fan and you shoot more than 40%, you're getting an NBA contract. If you are a baseball fan and you hit 300%, they pay you $4 million. I have a batting average of 300. If you have 400, you're in the Hall of Fame. That means you're striking out 6 times out of 10. they pay you $4 million. I love there's an old video that Michael Jordan had put out years ago on how many times he missed the game-winning shot. How many times he missed free throws. How many times he committed turnovers. How many times the game was on the line and he failed to come through. And he said that is why he has 6 titles, multiple MVP awards, and considered the greatest basketball player on the planet ever. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Because he had the mindset. What set Michael Jordan apart from all the other NBA basketball players? Was his raw talent that much better than everybody else? Actually, no, it was not. In fact, he would even tell you that there were guys that he knew, people in the NBA that had more raw talent than he did. What it came down to was his mindset. He just wanted it more than everybody else. He willed his way to that next level. He willed his way. And he also became a professional. He treated his craft as a professional athlete. You have what's called amateur athletes, college. And then you have pros. Pros means professional. No matter what field that you choose to be in that's going to have your primary source of income, you have to become a professional in it. Most people are used to the job-to-job mentality, and to prepare for a job, they get a high school degree. They then turn around and get on a college degree to get an even better job. They spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on training. They spend years on a job to get more experience so that they can get raises and promotions, knowing that the chance of them ever becoming the CEO is slim to none. They don't just stick their feet in the water to see if the water's warm. They become a professional. So if you're looking in the network marketing industry, you also come to this business with the same attitude that you must become a professional, and it starts with mindset. So let me introduce you to the new economy. And this is very, very important to understand. The world as you know it has changed. For the people who don't recognize that fact, it will be the worst of times. For those who do, it will be the best of times. That's called adapting. Have you ever wondered why millionaires make a lot of money in a good economy, and they make even more money in a bad economy? They recognize change, times, and trend, stay ahead of it, and they can prosper no matter what the economy is doing. You want to know why? Because they are professionals. Over the last 100 years, an interesting phenomenon has occurred. The rise of corporation became the standard in society. The safe and respected place for people to exist in the workplace was as an employee. See, before that, it was like an agrarian society. 90% of the economy was out in the farm, out in the cattle, towing the field. You had as many kids as possible, and your children became your employees because you didn't have to pay them. It was a family business. But when the industrial age came, everybody moved into the cities, into the corporations, into the factories. And it's been like that for 100 years. You're an employee, and you expect the company to take care of you. So the steps of that, and this is what they teach you in school, is go to school to learn how to be an employee, not how to be an entrepreneur. That's still how school is being taught today. Find a company that will employ you, not Find a way to start your own company. Find a company that will employ you so that you can have, what's that old word that people like to have? Security. Work for that company for 40 years and then retire. The only time, if you know your history, the only time this model was effective was the baby boomers' parents. My grandparents. We call them the greatest generation because that's the generation after World War II. After the New Deal was made. After the war, when America came out on top of the world. Where we were flush with money and capital and jobs. Where you'd only need one person to work and the mom was able to stay home and still had enough money to purchase a house, 2 cars, put your kids through school and retire and never have to worry about an income till you died off of one income. That's the only time that model was successful. The baby boomers are finding out very quickly right now because they're now retiring at 10,000 of them a day. That old model that their parents have does not work. It's not working for them. They saved up for their 401k and they got wiped out. Then they turned back to Social Security. That's also gone. You can't survive on $800 a month. But they taught their children, which is my generation, to follow the same steps that's not working for them because they don't know any better. And we're starting to recognize if it's not working for our parents, it's definitely not going to work for us. So in recent decades, the promise of being rewarded by the company for your loyalty and hard work has been exposed as a myth. People began to realize that the loyalty they were giving to their company was not being given in return. I graduated from Morehouse College, spent thousands of dollars that I'm still paying in college debt. My wife has a master's degree. We have over $100,000 in college debt that we have to pay off. And I was laid off twice in corporate America. You think the 40-year plan is going to work for me when I can't stay in one company for at least 5 years? Here's the new step of what's taking place for my generation. Go to school to learn how to be an employee. See, that hasn't changed. Find a company that will employ you. That hasn't changed. Switch companies for various political and economic reasons every 3 to 5 years over the course of your career. That's what's taking place right now. Even people that get laid off. Find that you can't retire comfortably after 40 years, so you keep working and you end up being a Walmart greeter. And the federal government will try to hype this up to you and say, hey, we're going to increase the retirement age from 65 to 70 or 72. Why? Because congratulations, you guys are living longer now. So we want you to work longer. And why do we want you to work longer? Oh no, it's not because we can't afford for you to retire. It's because we found that most people die 2 years after retirement. So if you never retire, at least we're keeping you alive. Isn't that a good thing? That's what the federal government is trying to tell you. Keep your head in the sand and keep working. The best way not only to survive, but to thrive in the new economy is network marketing. Well, I put networm. I'll change that. Network marketing. People say, well, what about investing? Has your job made you enough money that you can use that to invest? Investors, you need to have at least $100,000 to play with. And most people don't have that. Oh, real estate? How'd that work out? Own your own business? You have $250,000 to start your own business? I don't think so. Not for the masses. So for the masses, the best way to strive in this new economy, and people are quickly finding this out, it is in network marketing. More and more companies will choose to use network marketing because it fits the new economy. Whether you like it or not, things are not going back to the way they were. You see on the news, everyone says, I want my old America back. It's long gone. It's extremely efficient because in the new economy, word of mouth advertising continues to work better than any other form of promotion. Why? Because companies are realizing that they're able to save money and make more money if they use word of mouth advertising instead of spending hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars on. Excuse me 1 second here. Sorry for that, just getting over a cold from my 6-year-old son. But companies are realizing that they could save a whole lot more money by paying reps and distributors in word of mouth advertising than relying on McDonald's commercials all day, hoping that you'll see a commercial and we'll actually go and buy the product. It's not that way anymore because people aren't even watching TV. Now what that means to you is that you can receive all of the benefits of traditional business ownership without the typical risks. And there will be no cap on your income because network marketing companies want you to make as much as possible. See, the way this economy is moving now, it's going to be based on performance, not based on your time. See, in the old economy, you were paid based on how many hours you worked a week. And that sounded good, right? Trade time for money. The problem with that format is that there's only 24 hours in a day. So your income will always be capped. And you can only work so many hours. So now, the economy is going to be based on your production. You can't just sit in your cubicle all day on Facebook and expect to get paid. So if you guys are in a business, within the next 10, 15, 20 years, the entire corporate structure is going to change where you're not an employee anymore. You're an independent contractor getting paid based on your performance. That's going to scare a lot of people out there. And your income still will be capped by doing that in corporate America. So the new economy is going to pay you for your performance, not your time. Are you prepared for this? Are you ready? So you make the choice to join a network marketing company. If you make that choice, choose to be a professional at it as well. Don't half-step it. If you're going to do it, then do it. Because if you treat this business like a hobby, you will get paid like a hobby. And a hobby will not walk you off your job. A hobby will not retire you. A hobby will not get your bills paid. You must accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. You say, well, what does that mean? That means that you are now ahead of the trend in the new economy, and the masses haven't figured it out yet. You're stepping out of that rat race, and they don't like you to step out of the rat race. They're going to try to pull you back. They're going to look at you like you're the oddball out. You're not one of the cool kids anymore. You're not doing what everybody else is doing. You're doing something weird, something strange. See, most people have either joined a network marketing company or know someone who has. They approach it as if they are playing the lottery and hoping to get lucky and sign up that one superstar that will make them rich. And when it doesn't happen, they quit. Not only do they quit, they tell everybody else that it doesn't work and it's a scam and they lost their money. That's what's happening in Herbalife right now, especially in California. We have a large Latino organization that's bringing a lawsuit against Herbalife because they say that it preyed on the hopes and desires of the minority community, promising riches. No, it never promised riches. It said you're going to get paid based on your performance. If you don't perform, you don't get paid. If you treat it like a hobby, you don't get paid. If you learn the skills necessary, it doesn't matter what company you're in, you're gonna get paid. There was no glass ceiling. There is nothing holding you back. You talk to more people than everybody else, you make more money. That's the bottom line. That's the golden rule. And those who are always looking for a handout will never understand this, and they will not win in the new economy. They're gonna bet their life on lawsuits. Don't get me started. I'm holding back, Lou, because my voice can't take it. But I'm telling the truth here. A professional learns skills necessary to become successful in any given field, and the same goes for network marketing. Once you learn skills, then there is no luck involved. Your performance will greatly improve, which will in turn greatly improve how much money you make. Become a professional. Now there's three types of networkers. You have the posers, you have the amateurs, and you have the professionals. And let me give a little shout out when people saying, where else am I getting this information from? Well, I finished reading a new book that I'd never finished in the past called Go Pro by Eric Worre. You will find this detailed information, and I'm just touching on the surface of what that whole book's about. And I always say this again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not my information. This is not my opinion. This is information that I was taught, that I learned, that I read on, that is factual, not an opinion. So you've got posers, amateurs, and professionals. Let's talk about the posers. We all know posers in this industry. Posers treat this profession as a lottery ticket. They're hoping to hit it big with as little effort as possible. Do you know people like that? You know, we know people who they pay their money and expect things to happen just because they paid their money. Alright, I have somebody asking, will the phone line be open again? So I'm going to try to call in one more time to see if this works. But I definitely don't want them to miss out either. There we go. Oh, that's great. So if you know anybody that's trying to get onto the conference call line, you can go ahead and shoot them a message now and let them know that the conference line is open. So let me shoot, and if somebody can call in too to stop the music. It is open right now. Where's my other phone? Give me 1 second here. Alright, you got it going now. So those of you on the conference call line, go ahead and spread the word. So people that can't get on the presentation, they can at least listen on the conference call line. And I need to mute that out. All callers are muted and they can unmute themselves. Alright. We're back at it. And giving you guys a heads up, even though I'm recording this, I have no time limit on when I'm going to stop. It's just whenever my voice gets tired. So I know those of you on the East Coast, if you've got to leave for whatever reason, we understand. That's okay. So posers treat this profession as a lottery ticket. They want to get lucky with it. Some posers actually do get lucky and get that big break and make quick money, but it never lasts, and they never learn skills on what to do if they lose it. You guys understand that? I'm going to say that one more time. Some posers actually do get lucky and get that big break and make quick money, but it never lasts. And they never learn skills on what to do if they lose it. I'm going to talk about this later about the number one recruit you will ever have is you. The most important star you'll ever have on your team is you. So if you lose your top star, it doesn't matter. You are the ish. You can always rebuild what you lose because you have the skills necessary. You weren't relying on somebody else. I had one guy on my team who really had an ego and a cocky. And he was a very good networker. Very good at what he did. He was one of my top producers. And he had the false notion of believing that if he left, my business collapses. I had to let him know, no, buddy, my business is not dependent on you. Thank you for what you've done, but it's not dependent on you. And you always must have that attitude that I can lose my number one producer and I will still be successful. Said I was a success before you and I will be a success after you. He's on his 4th or 5th company by now. Posers last 30 to 60 days at most in network marketing before they quit. And they blame either the company, the compensation plan, their upline, or downline for their failure. It's never their own fault. It's never they never actually try to become a professional. It's never the fact that they tried to learn skills on how to be a success. They get frustrated, it didn't happen fast enough, and they quit. Here's my question. Is this you? Are you only here for 30 to 60 days? And to make it even worse, when 60 days comes and you quit, remember what I just said. You were a poser in this. You quit. And posers always have an excuse on why they quit. Oh, I wasn't making any money. Oh, I couldn't afford the money to get for monthly auto ship. Everybody's saying no. I can't talk to anybody. Whiners. And it's worse when I hear men say this. I'm like, how does your wife live with you? I'm sorry, but I am a solver, not a complainer. I can't stand it when I see men constantly complaining, constantly pointing the finger at somebody else, never taking responsibility for their own business, always looking for a shortcut or for somebody to give them something. How do you support your family like with that mindset? But hey, they find a way. But posers only last 30 to 60 days. Next, posers also would rather join another company that is promising an easier or faster way to riches. So instead of working harder and learning skills, they jump ship. These are the hoppers. These are the people that they saw a video on a company, got excited about it, saw somebody showed some checks or a back office or whatever. They join, realize 60 days later that they actually have to put in some work. Then they see a video about another company that's brand new, that's hot, that's moving, everybody's excited about. So they jump ship over there. 60 days later they realize, oh well, I actually have to work. They jump ship. The one thing about modern day network marketing is there's so many companies out there and new ones popping up every month that there's an endless stream where you will never run out of companies to join. Never. I know individuals who have been a part of 15 to 20 companies in the last 2 years alone. Keep hopping, 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 hopping. And there's no such thing as a company being better than another company. You can show me the best company out there and I'll show you somebody broke. You can show me the worst company out there and I'll show you somebody making 6 figures. It's what is a good fit for you that is important. And then what you do with it after that. That's the difference. You still have to put in the same amount of work in a $1,200 company and a $25 company to sign people up. You guys understand that? You may think, oh, $249 is too much money. I'm going to go join one for $25. Do you realize it takes the same amount of work to sign somebody up for $25? At least $249 is a better weeding process, because anybody will throw down $25 because they don't see any real value for it. Hey, I can risk that. I don't really need to work at it. For me, the more money it costs to get started, the better quality of people I attract. That's another fact. Let's talk about the amateurs here. Amateurs focus on getting lucky. They hear of stories of people who had their entire lives changed with that one sign up. They spend all their time focusing on that one big hit. I will give you an example. An amateur gets started. By luck of the draw, they sign up somebody who blows up. 30 days, they made $10,000. They haven't learned any skills. They got lucky and signed somebody up. The person that they signed up gets a phone call from a CEO of another company. And that CEO says, well, I saw what you did over there in 30 days. I'm willing to give you $50,000 if you come over and bring your team over, guaranteed. And that leader says, oh, I'm in. Jumps ship. Takes his whole team with him. Now you're left with nothing. And what does that amateur do? Quit. I lost my team. I don't have anybody on my team doing anything. What are you doing? I'm dropping some seeds here, guys. That's all going to lead to the most important aspect here. That is, if it's going to be, it's up to me. Drill that in your mind. That's the mindset you always must have. The second thing that amateurs focus on is timing. Did I get in early enough? How many other leaders are in my market? Did I miss the growth curve? Is the market saturated? Because it is. I'm not getting involved. You know people like that? Now, timing and positioning and market share is important. However, it is not the missing ingredient that is necessary for success. Everybody's heard of Amway, the oldest network marketing company out there. They've always been worldwide for decades. Is that market saturated yet? There's still people out there in the world that have never heard of Amway. I guarantee there's people on your block, your street, that have never heard of Amway. I don't know if it was Dexter Yeager. I think it was Dexter Yeager. He had joined Amway 5 years after the company was around and made over $250 million in his career. There's leaders in Amway that just got started years ago, or a couple of years ago, that's making $400,000 or $500,000 a month. Why? It doesn't matter when the company got started or how much word is out there. It all comes down to your skills. Or if you don't have any skills, are you willing to learn those skills? I know one thing, no matter what company I join, I will always be one of the top producers. I have been for the past 3 years. When I figured out certain things. And the things that I figured out is what I'm teaching you guys tonight. The third thing amateurs focus on is positioning. Am I in the right organization? Are others better positioned than me? Do I have a good upline? Will I do better on another team? Amateurs have this mindset. When I joined my last company, there were people in the company in my upline that had been around for over a year. I could care less what they were doing. I could care less what system they had in place. I could care less what type of support they were going to offer me. We made the support. We created it for our team. Why? Because as a professional, you look at yourself as the CEO of your business. And this is your business. The only difference is you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. But at the end of the day, this is not your sponsor's business. This is not your upline's business. This is your business. Your upline is there to help you, and anything that they do for you is extra. It's gravy. Oh man, I'm sitting here in the dark and I can't find the book. I was going to read this passage that Eric Worre said. He said, if you are a professional, do this. Call your sponsor and upline. I'm going to go off the memory here. Call your sponsor and upline and tell them, thank you very much for sharing this wonderful opportunity for me. To me. Your job is done. If I need you, I'll call you if I need any help. Bye-bye. That's what a professional does. Because they know they're the CEO of their business. Amateurs are completely 100% dependent on what somebody else is going to do for you. That is not an entrepreneur. However, on our team, Power Team Marketing, we have created a system that is so tight you don't actually need your sponsor to hold your hand, because you have access to all the information just like the people at the top do. But like the old saying, we can drag a horse to water, we can't make you drink it. That's going to be completely up to you. The fourth thing that amateurs focus on is shortcuts. Shortcuts. There's some of you out there right now, and I want you to really have self-retrospect on yourself. I know some of you. I don't call anybody out, but I know some of you out there that think like this and don't even realize how it's holding you back. The internet has tools that can do all the work for me. Right? I'm going to hop on the internet and try to find a shortcut. Every time a new shiny approach to business is advertised, amateurs are all over it, and they get easily distracted. I will admit, I tried to do that myself. Back in the day, I was looking for the shortcut. I wanted my $10,000 now. Not next year, not 6 months from now, now. But I'm not willing to go through the training that I can learn skills to make that happen. Give me the shortcut so I can get that instantly. The problem with taking shortcuts is that it's not duplicatable. And if you're looking for long-term residual income, you must do the same things you ask your team members to do so that they can duplicate you. And when you get to a certain point and you have an advertising budget, then you can branch off and do a little bit more. And then show your team members, once they get to that point, how to do a little bit more as well. But amateurs get easily distracted. They're gung-ho about the company this week, and then next week, well, there was this thing called dropship domination that came out, and I ain't got to recruit nobody. Well, if you don't have to recruit anybody, why are you shooting me a link to try to recruit me? What happened to your focus? Hey, I keep it real. Alright, I'm not a hype guy. I don't sugarcoat it. I tell it like it is. Doesn't mean the program is bad, though. My point is that you're easily distracted. Because 3 months from now it will be something else. And then something else. And then something else. Then you have the professionals. A professional is a person who is an expert at the skills required to build a large and successful network marketing organization. That is a very powerful statement right there. A professional is a person who is an expert at the skills required. If you want to build a large network marketing organization, there are certain skills that are required. It doesn't happen by luck. It doesn't happen by chance. A professional starts focusing on the skills and made a commitment to practice, practice, practice until the skill is mastered. You know, I tell you guys to make videos, right? And some of you are worried. You think your first video is going to be horrible. And guess what? It will be horrible. But you keep doing it. And doing it. And doing it. And doing it. Next thing you know, people think that your videos are professionally made. My first videos were horrible. Horrible. When I first started talking to people, I did a horrible job at it. I couldn't close anybody. Then I learned it's not for me to close. My job is to just pique their interest and then pass on to my upline. Peek and pass. Use the system. Oh no, I went out there and giving people a drink of water with a fire hose. I'm telling them everything, and I'm more than likely telling them it wrong. Peek and pass. A professional does not focus on luck, timing, positioning, and shortcuts. That's not what a professional's focus is. Some of you think you're a professional, yet you're focusing on luck, timing, positioning, and shortcuts. You're not a professional. Professional athletes will devote endless hours to preparing for competition. But when they join network marketing, they won't give one day's worth of effort to learning our skills. Doctors will devote a decade of their lives at huge financial expense to become physicians. But when they join network marketing, they won't give a month's study and practice to become a network marketing pro. Isn't that amazing? That's called lack of respect for the industry. And it's individuals like that is why the industry has a bad name and reputation. I encourage you to go to YouTube, type in a name called Tim Sales, and watch his videos. Talk about a professional. He has a professional's view and a professional's take on network marketing. I had this conversation with my dad a couple months ago, and it's funny that I retired at the age of 36. My dad sees how much money I make, yet he's still, hey Brandon, you think you should get in direct sales with insurance? The way you talk, you'd be very good at that. Dad, my profession is network marketing. Oh, it's a profession? Yes, Dad. This is my profession, not my hobby. Alright, now let's get into the rest of the mindset part. So everybody got that? What is your profession? People ask me, what do I do for a living? I'm a professional network marketer. Oh, really? What is that? I'm glad you asked. That you want to have a conversation starter. My conversation starter isn't, oh, I'm a global power with Shopping Sherlock. What do you do for a living? I'm a professional network marketer. What does that mean? What is that? What do you do? Oh, I'm partnered up with a company called Shopping Sherlock, where we help people save money on product and services that they're already spending money on. And I get paid referral for every time I refer somebody to it for free. And I get paid very well. I'm a professional. Now you're having a different conversation with people. You guys understand that? Now that you've made the decision to become a professional, you must follow these steps. Know your why. Why are you here? Some of you may think, well, it's because I want to spend time with the family, college education for children. I want to buy a new home, be debt-free, family vacation, give more to church, retirement, buy toys like boats, cars, RVs, etc. And those are all great whys, but guess what? That's everybody's why in life. That's not good enough. So I'm going to give you guys an assignment that I want you to do tonight before you go to sleep. Those of you on the East Coast will be going to sleep soon. I want you to ask yourself, what would you do with your life if money were no longer an object? What would you do with your life if money were no longer an object? You're not waiting for bills anymore. Now I'm going to take it a step further. You already bought all the houses you wanted, bought all the cars you wanted, paid off all your debt. You went on your worldwide shopping spree for your wife or your husband. You put all your children through college and their children through college. You can pay for that. You paid all your money to your nonprofits and your charities. A year later passes by. You wake up Monday morning and realize you have more money in the bank than the year you spent all that money, and you have nothing to do. What would you do with your time? And more importantly, how does that make you feel? Do you have peace of mind? What does it feel like to have peace of mind? And some of you are saying, Brandon, I have never had peace of mind. Well, I want you to imagine, what would it feel like if you actually did? Give all your problems to the Lord for a second and clear your mind and your plate. How does that make you feel? That last part is the most important. How does it make you feel? Because how you feel determines your vibration. How you feel determines your vibration, and your vibration determines what you're attracting to yourself. If you're having that positive type of vibration, you're going to attract more things in your life to keep that vibration going. If you have a worrisome vibration, you're always going to attract more things in your life to keep you worried. You are a magnet. So sometimes you have to force yourself. You have to trick your brain, because when you go to sleep feeling liberated, like Cheryl says, your brain does not go to sleep. Your brain does not know that you actually have not been liberated yet. Your brain only knows what you tell it. This is like tricking your brain. You can actually program yourself. Many people didn't know that. You can program yourself. So now when you wake up in the morning, your brain had 8 hours, or in my case 3.5 hours, working on things in your life to make how you feel a constant. Now you have an uphill battle because you're used to feeling a completely different way. So you have to do this over and over and over and over again. People say all the time, your why should make you cry. That is not strong enough. What do you mean it's not strong enough? I'm doing it for my children. Yeah, so are the other 50 million parents who are living below poverty in America right now that all have kids. You don't think that they cry every night? That they wish they could put food on the table for Thanksgiving? That they wish that they could get Christmas presents? You don't think that they're crying? You don't think somebody cries when a relative passes away on the other side of the country and they can't get there? And what has crying gotten them? It didn't magically make things happen. All crying does is gives you an emotional release. You guys get that? It's just emotional release to make you feel better that you had a chance to get it out. So a lot of leaders I hear them saying, your why is something that should make you cry. No. goes beyond that. You must set short and long-term goals. This is where it is becoming a professional again. A professional is not here for 30 days. A professional is not here for 60 days. A professional is here until the job gets done. A professional sets short-term goals on where they want to be. How fast can I have my return on investment, ROI? How fast can I get to $100 a month? How fast can I get to $500, $1,000 a month? How fast can I reach the top position of the company? How fast until I pay off these debts? Write them all down. Setting short and long-term goals. A professional understands that it takes time to grow anything. A professional understands this. That is not going to happen overnight. You have to plant your seeds and water your seeds, and a professional will water the seed even though they don't see any progress, because they know one day those seeds will blossom. Those of you frustrated right now because you think you haven't signed anybody up in a long time, that it's hard to do so, that people are saying no, you have to continue to plant those seeds. Because like a bamboo tree that takes years of watering before it starts to sprout, and then it becomes the fastest growing tree in the world. But it takes years. Are you willing to put your head down and go to work and foregoing your gratification for the future, knowing that you're not going to have those instant results right away? Are you willing to go a year in your business without make a dime? Because people that have their traditional businesses, they go 5 years if they're still open before they're in profits. I own my own marketing company. I have not made a dime in it. It's going almost a year, because everything we earn from it goes right back into the business. Why am I doing that? Because I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about making $1 million a month in my own business, own company. So whatever business you may be a part of right now, if you're not willing to go through whatever long-term goal and know that growth's going to take time, go ahead and stop right now. Do us all a favor. Stop wasting our time and your time and go back to your cubicle where it's nice, safe, and cozy, where you get your check every 2 weeks. It's a better bet for you. Stay consistent and work your business. It won't work unless you work it. People ask me all the time, Brandon, how much time should I spend, how many hours a week should I spend in my business? How much time do you spend? So that's a trick question for me. I don't have a set amount. It's when the job gets done. When I work the job full time, because I hear people say all the time, I don't have any time, I'm so busy. And I ask them, are you financially free? No. Then my next question is, what are you so busy at? What are you so busy doing that's keeping you broke? Obviously what you're doing is not working. Why don't you shift that busyness onto something that's actually going to get you financially free? And I love busy people, because busy people have a great work ethic. They're busting their tails, maybe with 2 jobs, to put food on the table. If you show them value in the business and let them bust their tails in their own home-based business, they walk off their job within a year. That's just how it is. I had this, I'll use my son as an example. He's a freshman in high school. And he was having coming out of junior high, he had a 3.8 GPA, 3.9, something like that. And high school's a little bit different. You can't do the same thing you did in junior high and high school and expect to get the same results. It's not going to happen. So he was struggling in his Spanish class. I asked him, why didn't you do the homework? I didn't have time. What do you mean you didn't have time? Well, I was so busy working on my other work and doing cross country. I said, weren't you on the Kindle Fire for like 3 hours and watching TV all weekend? Yeah. So what do you mean you didn't have time? You certainly had time to do all that stuff. Well, Daddy, I have to relax. I'm like, and he's a kid that says that. Isn't that what we do? Well, after a long days of work, I've got to take out the beer, sit on the couch, and watch the Laker game. I got to watch American Idol. Scandal's on TV. I can't miss Scandal like Olivia Pope is paying you. Cut out the things in your life that's not making you money and use that time to build your business. And if you work at it hard enough, like I did for 45 days straight, going to sleep at 3 a.m., waking up at 6, I walked off my job. And now I have all the time to do whatever I want. See, freedom to me is the ability to purchase your own freedom. Because you purchase your time back if you're working a job. A job is trading you time for money. Wouldn't you rather have the money and time at the same time? See, there's people out there that either have a lot of time and no money, or they have money and no time. How about having both? Where your work ethic comes in. You cannot expect to reap a harvest if you have not sowed any seed. You must put in some time if you want to get time. That's the bottom line. I had a person call me up a couple days ago and say, Brandon, you know, I like the company, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and go do something else. What are you gonna do? Oh, I saw this other company over there. It's only $25. I'm gonna go join that because it's, you know, they're promising me spillover. I said, wait a second, let me look you up in the database. I looked him up in the database. He had 140 people on his team. 139 of them were in his strong leg. Now, my company's a binary. One on his weak leg. I said, so you want to walk away from a team that's already being built and growing on its own, independent of you, when all you have to do is build one leg? I still think a lot of people may not fully understand the compensation plan. So do you realize what you're doing? No. Have you showed up to any presentations? No. Have you plugged in? No. Have you gone to any other trainings? No. Have you watched the videos on PowerTeamMarketing.com? No. Have you called me to do any three-ways? No. And you wonder why you're not making any money, and with that work ethic, you're going to take it over there to that company, and you're going to have the same results. It's all in the mindset. Very important. Ignorance on fire is way better than intelligence on ice. But if you're ignorant on fire, work to have intelligence at the same time while you're keeping your fire going. Start to develop the right mental attitude. Have long-term thinking. Treat your business like $1 million business, not a $100 business. Not a $500 business, not a $1,200. This is a $1 billion business. In our business, we're in a $1 trillion industry. And you're worried about $249? The total cost of being in our business for the year is $668. Really? Money is what's holding you back? When we show you how you can make $20,000 a week, I encourage you, if you haven't, go into your back office and look at how much money is being banked for you. When all you have to do is work your inside leg. That's it. Put in a little bit of effort. Know the value of what you have. This is not a $1.15 a day business. This company is going to make me a millionaire. And we're at the beginning. The most important things you can bring to your business: work ethic, desire, commitment, be coachable, and excitement. You know what commitment is? Commitment is doing the things you say you're going to do long after the feeling has subsided. You know how that is, guys. You date a girl for the first time. She looks good, right? Walks just right, talks just right, smells just right. She's brand new, like a new car. Exciting. You want to take her for a test drive. But then over time, you get used to your girlfriend, right? It's the same old, same old. And you see a new skirt walking across the street that you don't know. All of a sudden that excitement comes back again. And you dump your old girlfriend and go get yourself a new one. You were not committed. See, a marriage is a commitment. Through good and bad. For better and for worse. When things aren't all hot and heavy, and you guys are worried about paying bills and putting food on the table, when that sexiness isn't that there anymore, that spark, or is not as prevalent, but you're committed to each other. A lot of you are dating your business right now. You're just dating her. And you expect her or him to excite you. Isn't that what you guys do when you're dating people? What can that person do for me? This person makes me feel good. Well, my company's not making me feel good anymore because I actually have to work. People said no to me. I don't like that feeling. But there's a new shiny company over there that just put on a new, sky-high skirt that she can't bend over. And it's attractive to me. I like it. I'm going to go over there to that company. And then the cycle repeats itself. A professional marries their business. You will go through an emotional roller coaster. Don't make your highs too high and your lows too low. Some will, some won't, some wait. So what next? So what? People say no. And they're the ignorant ones, not you. They're not paying your bills. Why are you going to listen to broke cousin Pookie on the corner talk to you about what company you should join to make money in? You buy somebody else's opinion, you buy your lifestyle. Only listen to people who is making the type of money you want to make. Everybody else is inconsequential. You may still love them, but birds of a feather flock together. You want to remain broke just like them? Next. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. People's real colors come out when things aren't going so great, right? Things aren't going so good. When the money is flowing, it's happy times for everybody. But when challenge comes down, you watch how people react. You really know. I've had people look me dead in my face and say one thing and stab me in the back the very next day, literally. And then while they're stabbing me in the back, they let everybody else know that I was the problem. Right? That's how it is. What are you going to do during moments of challenge and controversy? Are you going to quit? Here's the sad aspect of this, ladies and gentlemen. Most of you are. You're going to quit. I know you said, not me. Not me. I'm not the one. But most of you are. The challenge is, will you be the one that's not going to quit? And you'll remember what I said, that most of you will quit. And when you quit, you'll still come up with an excuse. Say, no. Those reasons Brandon said I quit, I have legitimate reasons why I quit. My reasons are legitimate. Everybody's reasons are legitimate. Sometimes problems don't require a solution to solve them. Instead, they require maturity to outgrow them. When you're going through problems and challenges, don't pray for the challenges to go away. Pray that you learn skills to be able to overcome them. When you learn about the story of Solomon, and God granted Solomon one wish, you can have anything that you want. What did Solomon say? Grant me wisdom. Because with wisdom, he'll be able to solve any issue that comes into his life. If he asked for money, he could lose that money, and he never learned the skills necessary to earn the money back. Isn't that like lottery winners, right? 70% of people who win the lottery go broke within 10 years. And a lot of them always say, you know, I wish I never won the lottery. And to us mortals, we're like, have you lost your mind? You won $80 million, you went broke, and now you're saying you wish you never won it? That's right. All money did was highlighted the issues in their lives that they never had to deal with before because they were so busy trying to make some money to pay their bills. They never had time to work on their own issues. And you take away the financial burden and all they're left with is themselves in the mirror. That's not a pretty picture. A professional learns skills and grows in maturity to outgrow their problems. Let's real quickly talk about personality traits. And this is what you're dealing with when you're talking to people out there. Most people fall in these 4 categories: shark, whale, dolphin, and urchin. A shark is a person that's driven by money and power and respect. You approach them about your business, about how much money they can make, about hitting the top titles in the company in record time, you got their attention. But then you have the whales. Whales are not motivated by money. Whales are motivated by helping people. Look at what jobs they're currently in, what their profession is. Healthcare. You know, I wouldn't consider a lawyer a whale. All right. Don't say lawyers. Paramedics, nurses, teachers. You know how that is. Preachers. They love to help people. They're motivated by helping people. So you talk to them about making a whole lot of money, they're turned off. And if you talk to a shark about helping people, they're turned off. Then you have dolphin. Dolphins love to have fun. If they're not having fun, they're bored. And if they're bored, they're on to the next. Dolphins rarely stick around for something for a long period of time. So you can't approach a dolphin as a shark and a whale. You go to a dolphin talking about, we're going to Vegas in February. You want to come? That's all you need to say. Yeah? Where do I sign up? Then you have the urchins. And urchins are the bane of my existence. Urchins take up 90% of my daily time. Urchins call me up 10 times a day with 1,000,001 questions that they could actually find the answer to themselves if they actually looked. But it's easier for them to just call me. I just call Brandon. But even though they're the bane of my existence, one thing that I've learned about urchins is that they end up making the most money. You want to know why? See, an urchin's philosophy is, I can't jump into anything unless I know what I'm doing. I need to know what's going on. I need to know every step of the way. How do you expect me to talk to people out there when I don't know what's going on? Do you know how that's going to make me look? I have a reputation to maintain. And that's a valid point. They just take too doggone long to make a decision. But when they make a decision, they stick with it. They turn into a professional and they turn into a shark. And when somebody else approaches them about something else, they laugh it off like, hey, I did my research. You need to be joining me over here. Now let's do a test here. What personality trait do you guys think I am? Type it in the chat box. Do you think I'm a shark, a whale, a dolphin, or an urchin? Got 2 sharks. Penny says all 4. Stacy says I'm a whale. Thomas says I'm an urchin. You know what's interesting? People who call me up, when I realize what their personality trait is, I match it. If I'm speaking to an urchin, I start talking urchin talk. If I'm speaking to a dolphin, I talk dolphin talk. A whale, I talk whale talk. A shark, I talk shark talk. My dominant personality, and I actually learned this one new. Some people say it's a shark, but it's actually a whale shark. I'm an orca. I love to help people. But here's the shark in me. It's hard for me to help people if I'm not making any money to survive. Right? So if I can make a whole lot of money and help a lot of people at the same time, I am a orca. I'm a shark whale. Or whale shark. See me at SeaWorld, although my sons watch that, the Blackfish show on CNN, and we're having a hard time going to SeaWorld again. But anyways, I'm an orca. It is in your best interest to learn all of these personality traits, so that when you're talking to people and you're asking questions, you know what personality trait they are, and you know how to talk to them. You know how to lead them. Lou, you're a shark. Penny is a whale. I can pick out personality traits real quick. Positives up, negatives down. I'm sorry, positives down, negatives up. When you have an organization, always be positive to your downline. You never let them see you sweat. If you have any issues or things you got to complain about to your upline. Complain to your upline, not your downline. Don't sabotage your own business. And when things are going bad in your life, don't sweat it too much. That's the emotional roller coaster. You will, I guarantee, each and every single one of you will have people on your team who will quit you after you spend a lot of time working with them. I guarantee you, you'll get a message, oh, I gotta quit the business. What? It's going to happen. I guarantee you're going to lose a big organization at some point in your career. I guarantee you're going to have great moments in your career. You got to keep that even keel. I even have leaders that still flip out on things. Things aren't going their way. It's like the sky's falling. I'll tell you this right now. The moment you see me sweat, that's when you know you've got something to sweat about. That's a learned trait. It's not my natural, personality. This is business. Crying in business like that. See yourself as a diamond or whatever the top position of your company is. Perception becomes reality. This is also on the training your brain. I am a global power. I act like I'm a diamond power. Here's what distributor. You want to act as if. Not fake it till you make it. Ain't nobody faking here. You act as if. Why do you want to act as if? Because the law of attraction is real. Successful people don't hang out with losers. And losers will never be able to sign up other successful people until you are a success. And that's where the catch-22. People say, well, I need to sign up successful people for me to be successful. But how can I be successful if I can't sign up successful people? It's a conundrum. No. You must go in the bathroom and ask yourself this question. Would I sign up with you? Would I sign up with you? And be honest. If you're lying to yourself, you're really in a bad shape. Nobody can hear you. I asked myself that question the first time and the answer was no. And that's okay. At least you now took an assessment and you know where you are. So your next question is, why not? What do I need to do? What qualities do I need to have that I would sign up with myself? And then you start to actively work on those qualities. That's what a professional does. And then you're going to start to attract other people on that same level as you. You guys understand how that works? There is communication that takes place before you even open your mouth. In fact, 90% of communication is body language. Did you know that? You talk to my wife, if you're standing next to her, I swear it's like she knows sign language. Her hands are always going all over the place. And I did an experiment with her, right? I grabbed her hands and said, okay, go ahead, now talk. And she couldn't complete one sentence without freaking out. She needed her hands because that's how she expresses herself. She expresses herself with her entire body. And it's hard for her to have conversations on the phone because she can't really express herself. Hands going 90 miles an hour. I'm like, man, you're talking in sign language. But at the end of the day, like I said, act as if. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a diamond right now, the top producer of the company. Reality is that I'm not. I'm not running around saying I'm a diamond. I'm acting as if. Just waiting for the paperwork to catch up. Haven't been here long enough yet. It's only a matter of time. What about you? Do you see yourself as a diamond, or do you still think, I don't know if I can afford $34 next month? You guys understand that? A professional sees where the ultimate goal is. And then you work backwards. Talking to Brian Kyle about this. He's an engineer. You know, when you build a house, you don't start with the foundation. You start with the roof. What? You built the house on paper first. From top down. You got to know what the finished product's going to be before you start to build it. Every single thing you see with your eyeballs out there today was thought up in somebody's mind first. You guys understand that? You have to guard and protect your thoughts. Thoughts are things. You are what you think about most of the time. You will attract to you what you think about all of the time. Let me break that down in another way. We all know of a woman who has always been in a bad relationship. Always. It's like she's cursed or something. Every single boyfriend she has is the same boyfriend as before with a different name. And then one day when the girlfriend says, you know, maybe you want to go see a therapist or something to find out what the issue is. Why you keep attracting these guys? And you know what I find interesting in our society? We use that term attract an awful lot, with most people having no idea what that actually means. But it's part of our vocabulary, and we use it where it fits. Yeah, you need to go see a therapist. Why are you always attracting all these guys to you? Because human beings are a magnet. So she sees a therapist, and the therapist, the first question out of her mouth is, okay, let's get to the bottom of this. Why don't you tell me what it is that you want in a man? Tell me his qualities. And her response is, well, I don't want a man who disrespects me. I don't want a man who makes me feel bad. I don't want a man who physically and verbally abuses me, who disrespects me in front of my children. I don't want a man who stays out late at night, lying about where he's going. I don't want a man who does drugs and is drinking all the time. I don't want a man who cheats on me. Now, at first glance, is there anything wrong with what she said? No. What woman wants a man like that? Here's where the problem is. That's all she is thinking about. She's thinking about what she doesn't want. And that's not even what the therapist asked. You guys getting that? The therapist didn't say, tell me what you don't want in a man. The therapist said, tell me what you want in a man. And her brain automatically went to the opposite. What if she answered this way? Well, I want a man who loves me. I want a man who respects me. I want a man who I can feel safe with. I want a man who is strong, who is confident, who is a problem solver. I want a man who comes home to be with me and he enjoys it. I want a man who loves my children. I want a man who treats me like a princess and a queen. What if that's all she thought about? What type of men do you think she started to attract to her? You ever heard this term? Every time you get a good guy, you always push him away. You can't keep the good guys. Why? Because that's not what she's thinking about. Flip the magnet over and magnets repel each other. You can't attract to you what you're not vibrating at, what you're not thinking at. You want more money? Then what is it that you're thinking about most of the time? You're thinking of lack of money. I don't have enough money to pay this bill. I don't have enough money to do that. I'm not making enough money. It's weird how the universe works. You don't get in life what you want. You get in life what and who you are. It's by Les Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, this presentation is officially over. I'm going to end it with playing a video. And it's one of the best videos that I feel I've ever done because of the topic. And the topic is called Focus on the Goal and Not the Task. So if you're about to go to sleep, you can sleep with this video the last thing on your mind. And I've got good little music playing in the background. It's fall asleep music. Or should I play Jim Rohn? Nah, that's too long. I'll play the Focus on the Goal one. So congratulations to those of you who stuck around. The fact that we have over 1,600 people on our team and only 40 can show up to a training that's going to teach them how to walk off their job. You guys now understand why 97% of Americans are broke? It's not that they don't have access to the information. It's not that somebody's holding them back. The number one person to hold you back is you. The number one recruit you will ever have is you. When you guys realize that and understand it, I don't care what company you're in, if you put a 2 to 3 year commitment to it, you will reach the top. It's the guarantee. You're sweating and we haven't even been here 90 days yet, you will always be sweating. Who's going to be here in January? Oh man, I said it. I said I wasn't going to say that publicly, but I put it out there. Not all of you will be here in January. And those of you who go will have a good excuse that you've convinced yourself on why you're not going to be here in January. It's just the facts. Understand that 20% of your business is what's always going to remain active. So you look at your team right now and know that only 20% of them is going to be responsible for your income. Those are the 20% of the people you want to spend most of your time with. Like the action team, the winner's circle, the team dream or dream team, team movement. Not the ones still calling me up saying, "What's my password?" And you've been in the business for 2 months. Never been on a webinar or presentation. Take responsibility for your own business. Alright, I stopped the recording